What's up, YouTube? It's Miss Alamo. I'm for all of you out there who want to become a nurse because it is a wonderful career. I'm going to give you some tips and some real life feedback as to what I went through with my experience becoming a nurse. But first, let me just ask, how is everybody surviving out here with this coronavirus? Coronavirus! Compliments to Cardi B. That was phenomenal. I am struggling. I will be completely honest with you guys. I have been sick for the past 14 days. It has been awful. I never get sick. I typically may have a cold once a year, twice in a bad year. And this has just completely sat me down. I believe that this disease spreads so rapidly that people come in and out of the hospital, and it just makes us so vulnerable. Stress also beats down your immune system, and I believe that is also a part of what has caused me to be vulnerable to becoming sick. My practitioner recommended that I just go ahead and self-quarantine for the 14 days and until my symptoms have resolved. So I feel much better. So anyway, moving on, I just wanted to check in and see how everybody's doing with our new normal. But I think that what it has done, the silver lining, is that it has forced us to get closer with our families, to get creative with the things that we're doing, and just to go back to the basics, and I'm grateful. So again, this video is just to discuss how I got into the field of nursing. So rewind back to 2000. So back then I was about 17 years old, and it was probably when I was 15 that I knew that I wanted to do something related to the women's health field. Meaning OBGYN, maternity, something related to women's health. And I initially had a program at my high school where they offered us to go shadow whatever job field of our choice. And for me, I chose to shadow a midwife. And it just opened me up to a whole new world. I was intrigued by the fact of new life coming forth and what it took to assist with that happening. And when I went to shadow, it just changed me forever. And I knew at that point that I wanted to work with women. And after that, I ended up graduating high school. I worked as a PCT, or a patient care tech, at a hospital, and got to see, at a hospital actually in labor and delivery, and I got to see what it was for that job as a nurse, what that looked like. And it helped me to further understand that was the path that I wanted to go down. So I ended up applying or doing my prereqs at a community college, and I applied to nursing school. It took me about 2 years to get in, which was extremely frustrating because if you have gone down this path, you know that nursing school is very competitive. So I ended up applying. The first year I didn't get in, so while I had that downtime, I ended up working on everything that I needed to work on, meaning all of my additional prerequisites, since I was already completed with the ones for the associate's degree program. I ended up working on the ones that I needed for the bachelor's degree program. And so I didn't have that empty downtime. I was able to keep moving, not lose my momentum, because I knew that eventually I wanted to go back to get my bachelor's degree anyway. So while I had that 1 year down, finished my prereqs, applied again, and I ended up getting in. Can I say that was just one of the highlights of the best experiences that I've had in my life. Was I felt like, oh my God, here it is. This is what I've been waiting for. I can finally start working towards getting to my career and getting my goals accomplished. So that's the nursing program, and I want to be extremely honest with you. It is super competitive. We started off with 66 people in my program, and by the time I graduated, we were down to 33, if I'm not mistaken. It is difficult. Nursing school is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And however, it is so rewarding. I think what makes it so hard is that you go from this traditional way of testing and traditional understanding of things to having to learn how to critically think, having to learn how to test in a different manner, because when you are testing as a nursing student, it's different. Everything, you know, you have these 4 answers and 2 of them are wrong, 2 of them are right, but which one is most right? And so it takes you a while to be able to get that understanding of that mechanism of testing. And so once you break through that, and then you understand the physiology behind what it is that you're learning, then it starts to connect. And I think that that's when I gained my momentum in nursing. It took me lots and lots and lots of hours of studying. I went from being this student that didn't necessarily need to study to someone who was a mother of 2 at the time, and then I was pregnant by the time I graduated nursing school, a wife, and learning how to balance everything, no longer being able to work a full-time job, and just figuring out my new way of life and my new way of learning. It took a while. I would stay up hours at night studying just to make sure that I really, really understood what it was that was being asked of me, and how to think like a nurse, because it is extremely challenging. So I think that my takeaway from that experience was, number 1, anything that you set out to accomplish and that you put your mind to, you can do it. And I encourage anyone who wants to become a nurse to push and persist and don't give up until you accomplish what it is that you're looking for, because it is the most rewarding field that I mean, I couldn't even imagine the feelings that I have gained from being a nurse. Just being able to help others and being able to know that I'm a part of a field that no matter what happens, and even though I'm evolving and nursing has looked very different for me over the years, that there's always something that I can do within this field. And this leads me back to my change of career. Even though I'm getting into the field of aesthetics and I'm ready to transition out of women's health, I feel like nursing has provided me with avenues to go down where I have the ability to do anything with this career. I mean, there's legal nurses. So if you've ever had a passion for law and you wanted to go to law school but also be a medical provider, nursing offers a combination of those 2. So you could be a legal nurse. It's just, the opportunities with this are endless. And if we talk about the timeline of it, it took me about 3.5 years in total to graduate with my associate's degree. So 1.5 years of that was prerequisites and getting done with the classes that I needed to take prior to get into the nursing program. And then it was about 2 years of hardcore nursing school. And then, you know, there's alternatives to how you achieve it. I knew I always wanted to at least end up with going to grad school as a nurse. And so, but for me, as a working mother, I needed to take a different route. So I ended up getting my associate's degree first. And then after I became fluent in working and understanding what I'm doing as a nurse, time management, things of that sort, then I went back for my bachelor's degree. And, you know, for me, the bachelor's degree, it wasn't hard. It was time consuming. However, once you have that foundation as a nurse, I think that enhancing your education from that point is easier to attain, because you already have that fundamental foundations of nursing established. And then everything from that point is just building onto it. And that's what worked for me. Some people go through and do their bachelor's degree initially. For me, it financially was easier for me to get my associate's degree. It was cheaper, and then to go back and have my job provide the tuition reimbursement and to save money on furthering my education. I'm at a crossroads now where I'm trying to figure out where I want to go next. I do know that I want to further my education. However, with me transitioning into aesthetics, I am trying to figure out, do I want to go for my MBA, which is my Master's of Business Administration with a focus in healthcare administration, which gives us the business side of how to run a hospital or how to run any type of healthcare institution from a medical standpoint. Or do I want to become a nurse practitioner, since I will be pursuing this newfound passion that I have for aesthetics, and I will have patients of my own. And the practitioner degree is more so focused on that avenue. So I'm kind of still trying to figure that out, and that's the beauty of what we do, is we have options. Thank you guys for tuning in to this video. I just wanted to pop in and just do a brief synopsis of what my experience looked like for becoming a nurse. And I hope this was informative. And if you guys have questions or any recommendations for another video that you would like to see, please feel free to comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment again, and subscribe to this channel, and more videos to come. Thank you. Bye.